Hello, my yarny friends. I'm Sara Sach, and welcome back to another Friday Fun Day. So what we're going to make today are these mug rugs. They're a really nice size. They measure approximately 4 inches across and about 6.5 inches long. So they'll fit all sizes of mugs. This mug here was given to me by my dear friend Kim. And I always laughed because I say I have coffee and a coffee cup with coffee cups on it. Isn't that cute? Anyway, we're going to make these fun mug rugs. And you can see that they're checked, where we're alternating different colors every row. And it's a really great way to learn this technique. And it has to do with carrying your yarn and changing colors. And it's a really neat way to learn this technique of crochet without making something big, but also making something useful. You can get in your cotton or even your acrylic yarn stash and make some beautiful mug rugs. And another plus is they work nice if you're going to give your mom or dad for Mother or Father's Day a new mug with a fun saying on it. Give them a mug rug to go along with it, and they'll love that. Now you can find this simple crochet pattern on my blog with lots of pictures and also pictures on how to change colors. You can find that link down in the notes underneath this video. So to make some mug rugs, you're going to need some cotton. Now I chose to use a medium weight number 4 cotton, all from my yarn stash that I already have on hand. All of these are colors that I had on hand. All are medium weight number 4 yarns. But these are kind of mommy-ish. I guess this one's okay for Dad. But what we're going to do today is we're going to make one in brown and beige. And I think it's going to look really cute. Now, you're going to need approximately 1 ounce of 2 different colors. So a total of 2 ounces. And of course you can use peaches and cream, sugar and cream. I love this cotton, or any of the cottons that you have on hand, as long as they're medium weight number 4. Now, you can make them with acrylic yarns. Just keep in mind, if they're going to put, like say an iced tea glass on here, that's going to drip from that ice melting and get wet, the cotton will absorb that. If you're doing this with acrylic, it's not going to absorb it, but it will still protect your surfaces. Okay? Now we're going to be stitching today with our H hook, which is a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. You need a needle for weaving in ends, and of course, you need a pair of scissors. We're going to begin with our color 1, whichever color that you're choosing to use. We'll make our slip knot, and we're going to loosely chain 14 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 chains. And the reason we want to start a little bit loose is we don't want the end of our mug rug to be all puckered up. We want there to be some looseness in there. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, and go through the second 2 loops. Now this chain 3 here counts as our first double crochet. And then we stitched 1. We're going to stitch another one. There we go. And now we're going to stitch another one, only we're going to finish off with our color 2. So I've got it ready here. And I'm going to show you how we change colors. All right, so we go ahead and yarn over like we usually do. We go in and we pull up a loop. We yarn over and we only go through the first 2 loops. Now we're going to grab our new color, put it on our hook, and pull it through those last 2 loops. Then we'll just move that tail out of the way and we'll snug this down. Get some more yarn out here. All right, so now we have 4 neatly done double crochets. So what we're going to do next is we're going to stitch 4 double crochets in our color 2. So we'll yarn over. We're going to stitch over this yarn and carry it across. And we'll stitch our 4 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to change back to our color 1. So we're going to yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. Now we're going to grab our color 1 and put it on our hook and pull through those last 2 loops. And the reason that we change colors this way is this gives us, let me snug this down just a little bit. There we go. This gives us 4 crisp double crochets. If we would have finished this with the dark one, our next color would not be correct. Okay, so like here we have a crisp full double crochet. Now if I would have went ahead and finished with the dark color or color 2 and finish that 4th double crochet. All right, so now, well, how do I go about stitching my next double crochet in this color? So I'd have to yarn over and pull in the color then. And what happens then is you end up with a loop that is the dark brown. So if I would have done that on this one, we would have a light brown loop here and not have a crisp set of 4 double crochets. All right, so let me pull this out. So you'll stitch your 4 or your 3 double crochets, and then on your 4th one, you'll only stitch part of it and finish up with your next color. All right, and so now we'll stitch over this one, carrying it across, and finish those 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so now what we're going to have is 4 crisp double crochets in color 1, 4 crisp color 2 double crochets, and 4 crisp double crochets. We have 12 because 3 times 4 is 12. Doesn't that look nice? So now we're ready to do row 2. So we're going to grab our color 2 and bring that in and chain 3 and turn. We're going to make sure we have all of our strings to the back because this is the back of our work. All right, now we're going to stitch a double crochet in the next double crochet because our chain 3 counts as our first, and you'll also notice that I'm stitching over that yarn that I'm trailing across. All right, so then I'm going to stitch a double crochet in the next stitch. Now I'm going to begin my next double crochet. I'm going to bring in my next color, making sure everything's snug down, and now I'll do the next set of 4. 1, 2, 3. Looks like I got a snag. There we go. And now I'm going to do the 4th one. I'm going to begin, then I'm going to switch back to my next color and do my next 4. 1, 2, 3, 3. And now at the end of the row, when we do the last 4, we do complete that 4th double crochet. Okay? Because then we're going to be switching back to our other color, and we'll bring it in and chain 3. Because we're switching back and forth every other color. So we chained 3 in our next color. We're going to turn our work, and what we're going to do here is, this is the front, so we're going to leave those on the back side like that. Our chain 3 counts as our first. We're going to double crochet in the next, and we are stitching over that tail of yarn. Our chain 3 counted us first, then we double crocheted in the next 2, and now we're going to double crochet that 4th double crochet and changing at the last 2 loops to our next color. Now you will notice, since we're switching often, that your yarn might get a little bit twisted, so you may stop and untwist it from time to time because it can be a little frustrating. All right, let's go ahead and do our next set of 4. 1, 2, 3. Now we'll start our last double crochet on these 4 and finish with our next color. All right, and then we'll just finish with 4 double crochets. Because the last set of 4, we go ahead and stitch 4 solid double crochets. Whoops, there we go. And then we'll change to our next color and chain 3. And now you can see how the pattern works. We're doing every other row, alternating our colors, and it comes out in a checkered or checked pattern. All right, let's do row 4. So we're going to turn our work. This is the back, and the way you'll know where your back is just look for that string where we changed colors the first time. It'll be on the back of your work if you're not sure how to find the back of your work. All right, so we're going to pull our strings to the back. Our chain 3 again counts as our first, so we're going to make sure we stitch over that tail of yarn and stitch our first 4 double crochets. So we'll stitch 2 more because our chain 3 counted as our first, and then we'll begin our 4th and finish with our next color. There we go. And then we'll do our next set of 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we'll start that double crochet and finish with our next color. All right, so now we're going to do those last 4 in the row, and so we're going to do 4 solid double crochets. Change to our new color and chain 3. All right, so this is how it looks in the back. Here's our string where we changed that first color. We have our 12 double crochets, chain 3, and turn our work and leave our strings or our yarns to the back. So now we've done 4 rows. So now that you know how the pattern works, we're going to continue to repeat row 3 and row 4 for 4 more rows. You'll have color 1 and with color 2 in the center and color 1 on the end, And then you'll have color 2, color 1, color 2. And then you'll repeat these 2 rows for 4 more rows, alternating every other row. And that's going to give you a total of 8 rows because we've done 4 and you need to stitch up 4 more. So I stitched those additional 4 rows, alternating every other row. So we have 8 rows. We have 12 double crochets on each row. And of course we changed colors every 4 in order to cause that simple checked pattern. So now what we're going to do is we want to put a row of single crochet around all 4 edges of our project, okay? So now we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to place 1 single crochet in each of those double crochets across. Now, of course, I'm using this beige color. You can use your color 1 or your color 2 for this single crochet around. All right. I single crocheted in each of the double crochets across, and you'll notice I did not cut my color 2 because we're going to use that on the next row. When you get to the corner, chain 1 and single crochet in that last stitch that you just made. And now we're going to go down the side stitching single crochets evenly. And when you go down a side like this, it can be a little bit complicated in knowing where to place those stitches. And I always try to place them in the sides of the stitches and not those big gaping holes. All right. There is not a set number of stitches that you need for the side. You just want it to look nice and neat and even as you work your way down. And try to work your stitches in the sides of the stitches and not the holes. Now, when you get to the corner, you'll single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and then single crochet across the bottom. Then you'll single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and single crochet evenly back up to where we started and join to that first single crochet. This will give us a nice even row of single crochet around our mug rug. So I evenly single crocheted all the way around all 4 sides of my mug rug, and we placed a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet in each of the 4 corners. So now we're going to cut off that color. All right, we're going to grab in our color 2. Get this snug down. There we go. All right, so what we're going to do is form a nice edge. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip the next stitch and single crochet in the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, skip the next and single crochet in the next. And we'll repeat this across the bottom of our mug rug. Only the bottom edge. All right, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll join to that single crochet. And what we're going to do next is going to be different than what we did on the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to be stitching slip stitches on the back loops only for on the side, all right? So we're going to go in the back loop and stitch a slip stitch. So you have a loop on the front and a loop on the back. The front loops face you. The back loops face away. And so we're stitching a slip stitch in each of those back loops of those single crochets. You go in, pull up a loop, and then slip that loop through the loop on your hook. Now don't pull this too tightly. We want to keep it nice and loose and make sure that it lines up nicely with that row of single crochets that we did earlier. If you pull your slip stitches too tight, it'll pucker it up. We don't want that. We want it to lay pretty. See how that looks? All right, so now we're at the bottom, the other edge, and we're going to do down here what we did down here. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip the next, and single crochet in the next. 1, 2, 3, skip the next, and single crochet in the next. And so we'll continue this across, and then we'll switch to doing the back loops, only slip stitches like we did over here, and then we'll join back over here. So I stitched those chain 3, single crochet, skip 1 across the bottom, and then I did the slip stitches in the back loops only, and it brings us back to here. Now because of where we started, we're in just a little bit, and so after our last stitch on the side, chain 3 and join to that first single crochet, and that's going to help everything line up nicely. All right, we'll go ahead and cut that, and then we'll grab that loop and bring it to the back from back here. And now we have these two ends to weave in. So here's the finished one we just completed. And then here's the other ones that I made, and they are super perfect for any size, coffee, cup, glass, whatever you want to use. And they also make a great addition as a gift anytime you're going to give a coffee mug or glass. So that's our checked mug rug for our Friday fun day. I hope you'll get in your cotton yarn stash and you'll make a bunch. It's fun to have them on hand. I'll see you next week for Friday Fun Day.